One of my mentors once told me that the reason for us being on earth is to love, to grow, and to contribute. And during this time of the year, traditionally, us human beings kind of sit down and do a little bit of soul searching, and the old New Year's resolutions pop up. So I thought I'd share three questions that you can ask yourself instead that I learned from another mentor, Vishen, over the last few days. And it is just too good not to share. And it gives you a little bit of a different spin on that whole New Year's resolution thing, which I like. But how often have you heard of people going, I've set this intention, and then within day 2 or week 2, I haven't followed through on it. So this does give you a different angle, these three questions. And, I think it was Einstein that said himself that you do the same thing over and over again. So year over and year over and year over again, you keep on asking yourself New Year's resolution questions and you keep on getting the same result. Well, that's kind of the definition of insanity. So here are three questions. If you take a piece of paper, they've just caused such an amazing insight from my side when I did my own three questions. I just couldn't not share it. So grab a piece of paper. If you want, have a glass of, I said a piece of wine, have a glass of wine ready if you need to, or do a little bit of meditation beforehand, some deep breathing, anything to kind of get you out of that beta brain hamster wheel thinking, because that's going to happen too, especially if you stop for a while and get into what we call alpha brain state. And the first question, once you've taken your A4 piece of paper and divided it into 3 columns, so 3 columns, is what kind of experiences do you want to experience in 2023, and list them down. And what I mean by that, it's close to an outcome kind of question or a goal, but what kind of experiences? So as soon as you get into the experiences, what I noticed is that the creative juices started flowing and the emotions started getting, excited and excitable, because if you don't have emotion, you're not going to have motion towards your outcomes. So for example, one of my experiences that I put down for 2023 is I'm one of these crazies that do ice water plunges. And I would love to go to, I belong to this group on Facebook, and we are able to see other places in people's backyards and beautiful lakes that they go and do these ice dips in. And some of them obviously Northern Hemisphere, majority are Northern Hemisphere, but they're absolutely exquisite. So I would love to experience these cold water plunges in natural settings and surroundings in 2023. So that means I'd have to travel during winter time. I'd have to get myself prepared. But that's the experience, one of them that I'd like to have for 2023. So list as many as you like down there. It could be that you want to have more meal times with family of a week or a weekend, or maybe you want to experience a new language, or you want to experience doing a tennis tournament, anything that you'd like to experience in 2023. And then in the next column, you got to ask yourself, because it kind of relates to the first one, and you always have to relate or put down your experiences the way you want it, as opposed to you don't want it. So like, I want to experience a life full of cash, as opposed to experience a life that's on the breadline. I don't want to be poor. That's not an experience that you want to, maybe you do want to be poor, but you want to say it the way you want it. So I want to experience what it's like to make $1 million, for example. Then you got to ask yourself in the second column, what kind of growth needs to happen for you in order to experience that thing? So how I said the ice plunges, because that's something I really, really want to do. What kind of growth would I need to embrace in order to do that? Well, there's definitely some mindset stuff that needs to shift, or that I've had to shift in the past, because cold wasn't my natural ally. It was definitely one of my enemies. So I've had to do some mindset stuff around that. So again, take your experiences, whatever it is that you want to experience. Maybe it is, sit down meal with all your family. Well, what kind of growth might you need to embrace to do that? Well, maybe you need to become really compassionate or empathetic or unstubborn, listen to the other side of the argument. So what kind of growth? Because remember, we're here to love, we're here to grow, and we're here to contribute to society as a whole. And that's actually the last of these three questions in the last column is, what kind of contributions do you want to make next year? So 3 very simple questions, incredibly powerful. What kind of experiences do you want to experience in 2023? What kind of growth do you need to embrace in order to experience them? And then what kind of contribution do you want to make because of that growth, because of the year? What kind of contribution? Because right now, you know, a lot of humanity, the earth as such, needs a lot of contribution. So what kind of contribution would really get your creative juices going? And I'd love to hear your insights, what it is that you'd like to experience, because I might learn something off that, and I'm always keen for that. And then I'm really curious to find out what kind of growth you need to embrace with regard to going forward. So those are the 3 very simple, easy questions, setting yourself up for monumental success in 2023. And I wish you all the best, and look forward to hearing your feedback on the 3 most pivotal questions you can ask yourself right now at this time.